Well, that was the first noise to happen on stream. Hi, welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Steve and I were randomly given Nitro by Discord for reasons unbeknownst to either of us, so we're playing with the soundboard.
I didn't get it. It's just Chib and Ragdoll. It's just them. It's fine.
Just us. We're special like
It's,
that.
yeah. Indeed.
Exactly.
Bear has cake.
Bear has cake.
Cake.
I want cake.
We'll go see Bear.
Can you share the cake with the rest of the class, please?
I'm gonna steal Bear's cake.
Go steal Bear's cake.
What?
Listen, Snake. The cargo door is like an airlock. It's equipped
Bear,
with
let me
infrared
see your
sensors.
cake.
Be careful. If an intruder is sensed, gas is released.
Gas.
Hi, Kiro. Hi, Cat.
Hi. Had some cake yesterday. Ooh. Go home. Gonna join after Puppy New Golden Scratches. Give the pup scratches.
Oh, God. For a second, I forgot orange was a fruit. And it
Yes.
was just what flavor is orange?
Sinus apple.
It's red flavor. This tastes like purple.
This tastes like. Anyway, my brain still fine.
Rosemary, honey, and dyed orange.
We're already wondering whether I was doing okay yesterday. It's still the same.
Ooh.
Mm.
Yeah, I was about to
looks
ask
like a
what sort of
very-
cake that is. We had a conversation about it.
It's the color orange.
It's the color
That's the
orange.
flavor.
Like a very moist and dense cake, and I am all here for it. But
Yeah.
also, I'm a big fan of pineapple upside down cakes, and those usually end up very dense and moist as well, so.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I've said that out loud, I don't know if pineapple upside down cake is a thing anywhere outside of the US.
I've heard of it.
don't
I've
know
never had it.
what that means. Sounds
Let-
hella cursed, I'll be very real.
It's the cake that is made to welcome plants to the Northern Hemisphere.
I see. So we need
mean-
to make it for plants.
Yes.
I mean, we could. It's not that hard. So, the way you do pineapple upside down cake is you take a pan. At the bottom of the pan, you get those like canned pineapple rings or just canned chopped pineapple. Either is fine. Usually, though, it's done with the rings, because then you can put little canned cherries in the middle of the rings. So you put those down at the base, and you put usually like a brown sugar mixture on top of that, and then on top of that you put the cake batter. Usually it's a vanilla or yellow cake batter, but usually you use the pineapple juice from the can as the liquid. You pop that in the oven, cook it, and the reason why it's called an upside down cake is because after that you flip it out of the pan, so the bottom where the pineapple and cherries were becomes the top.
I see.
Bear says it's very nice.
I see. What you drawing, Customs?
This is Mal doing the washing up.
No, that makes sense.
What are you drawing?
And nothing yet. I'm having a thing. and talking to people about the food flavor of orange and yellow, apparently. Is yellow also a flavor that I'm unaware of?
No, lemon.
Lemon.
And lemon, I guess, is a colour, but only because it's the colour of a lemon.
It's because Ragdoll... Unless I completely fucking my hearing botched it, I thought Ragdoll said vanilla or yellow cake. So I got
Yes.
confused. What's yellow
So
cake?
it is cake that is yellow.
Okay, very literally.
Right.
I don't know. You English folk.
I mean, cake by default is kind of yellow, right? Sort of beigey yellow.
Yeah.
Like if you just make a basic sponge.
Yellow flavor cake, orange flavor cake. Yeah, you know. Yellow box cake mix? What? What flavor is it?
Oh, it's
Is it
box
just
flavour.
yellow?
That's like cardboard.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, usually around here, you can get yellow cake is a box cake mix. It's how do you describe the flavor of it? It's usually used as more of a base. I guess sort of cream?
For tiny soldiers.
Chris, shut up. Does it just mean it's not
Like-
brown
You know,
coated?
something doesn't have to be funny
I
to be
guess the
good. What'd you
clue-
think of this show?
Okay,
It was
so the
good.
thing is, as far as like flavoring is concerned, yellow cake is usually just sort of the base that you put other things in. But as far as like, it does have some vanilla in it, but it's not like vanilla. But also, it usually uses buttermilk instead of like regular milk, which changes the flavor a bit.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, usually around here you'd usually use it as the base cake mix for like peach or apricot or, like I said earlier, pineapple type cakes.
I see. You all have the fancy cakes.
Well, you say that, but usually the way you make that is you just sort of like, okay, let's take the cake mix it, and then just instead of using water, just dump a whole can of canned peaches in it and call it a day.
I have been made aware via B. Dylan Hollis of the phenomenon of the dump cake.
They
Yeah,
are very
sure.
delicious and very lazy.
Famous.
We make them semi-regularly on campouts because you can just like, okay, here's the individual ingredients, just dump it all in the thing, stick it on the fire pit, and leave it there for a bit.
Right, drawing. I should probably do some of it.
You don't have to. We'd be very happy if you did, but you don't have to. I'm not here to
No,
make no
but I
one do
wanna.
nothing.
Fuck you, I'll do what I want.
That's basically what I was getting at.
But what do draw is always the question.
What do draw? Jesse with snake.
Jesse with the snake.
At first, I thought you said steak, and my first thought was the food or the weapon.
Both.
Theater. A steak on a stick. Jesse as
We're
snake.
gonna go all Buffy the
As-
Vampire Slayer and
As a snake or as like snake as in solid snake?
Yeah, noodle a box.
As Noodle Box. As the kids know him. The kids being me. Oh, Caesar's Pokemon. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
that was
what
the
Chris.
thing.
How to draw Pokemons. Your idea was like, what was your idea?
Well, this is pretty much that. It was like you designed a Pokemon based on the sort of design sensibilities and sort of personality of the OC, rather than just sort of like shrinking them down into a cute Pokemon form.
Mm-hmm.
So you just try and I don't really know how to describe it, but just Pokemon that represents your OC rather than straight up transformation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you draw?
We shall see. We shall cook on it.
It's not an easy prompt, is the thing.
No, it's not. um. Okay.
Alice!
Pokemon answers. Trying to think like who has the clearest like visual direction that I could start with. Moira, yeah. I'm trying to think, because
There's your
I
problem.
mean Moira is like
Dangerous.
good character design wise, but I don't know if it's
Locked.
easily
suppose the reception
translatable
will be
into
guarded
Pokemon
anyway.
design. Brain immediately went to Lytton for Jesse. Yeah. I mean, I think Chris meant more as like make something that could look like a Pokemon.
Yeah. Sort of design a Pokemon that would sort of
Yeah.
is the essence of your OC, as it were. Rather than draw your Pokemon as an OC. No, draw your OC as a Pokemon. I know words.
Draw your Pokemon as an OC.
Yeah,
That's
Litwick's
just
my OC now.
Pachingus, Chris.
I mean, that people do sort of do that. Like,
Oh yeah.
they take a Pokemon and it's like, cool, we're turning this into a Gajinka now.
That's a word.
Yeah.
And Pokemon OCs are a thing.
I still think Jesse might be the easiest to start out with, because at least I have like an idea for like animal base. Because it's a bunny. That sounds highly illogical, but it makes sense in my brain, okay? I mean, it's not that nonsensical if you consider where Jesse came from. And I think it was called Rabbit Jesse at one point.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
If you're drawing some mix small and troublesome and do it. Oh yes, absolutely. They'd be like a little like duo of Pokemon. They probably have like a puzzle and mining kind of situation going on.
But actually useful as opposed to just being two
Yeah.
copies of the same damn thing.
Yeah, actually useful and not just copies of Pikachu who are just there to demonstrate double battles.
Oh, that's what they were for.
One holds a bomb, the other holds a leader.
Let's start with. Let me just look at the two bunny. I mean, there's a couple bunny Pokemon.
Not part of the anatomy. They still be explosives in someone's lighter. I mean, held items are a thing.
Mm-hmm. That is Team Rocket.
Yeah, if you give them the held item of lighter, they just immediately start the round with self-destruct or explosion.
Yeah. It's a fun question for everyone in the chat who knows anything about Pokemon, which is basically nobody. What evil team would your OC belong to? Just a casual question to throw out there for the casual Pokemon enjoyers.
Oh god, now I'm just imagining Luska being from that little island floating city that Team Aqua's sort of from.
Hell yeah.
Maybe not being a member of it, but just sort of being like, oh yeah, those weird rapscallions who decided to go off and do something weird. I wonder what they're up to. Oh, they've decided to flood the entire world. That's... What?
Oh. Well then.
Is Malice sedated? No, he's just working out. I think you want to answer that question with Brian. Fair enough. Problem is the only teams I know in Pokemon are just, you know, general organized crime in the form of Team Rocket. Let's pretend to be animal welfare activists while actually stealing Pokemon in the form of whatever it was in Black and White.
Mm-hmm.
And genocide in X and Y. And that's it. That's the range I'm working with.
No, that's fair. Let's see. Gen 1 and 2 are both Team Rocket, so it's like, you know, organized crime. Gen 3, there's two evil teams. You have Team Magma and Team Aqua. They're both backing, like, either, Kyogre or, Groudon. And they want to create either more land mass or more ocean mass for different purposes.
I like how you said backing, as if Kyogre and Groudon had anything to do with, like, creating this.
They did not. They were not involved in that decision. But, you know.
It's an investment opportunity.
They're always in for a fight, so... Against each other, specifically.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, they get released and it, like, I feel like, to me, the truest version of the narrative happens in Emerald. And in Emerald, the two teams release their Titans using the wrong stone. Because, of course. And then instead of doing anything useful, the two Titans just duke it out across the entire region. Like, everywhere you go, they are fighting each other. And it's like, this is not what we wanted. And it's like, well, what did you want?
They did not plan this out whatsoever. And everyone's paying for it.
Release giant monsters. Question mark, question mark, question mark, profit. I think
Yeah,
that was the
exactly. Then Gen 4 is Team Galactic, who wants to like basically like reset the world. It's not really genocide, but it's kind of genocide. But
It always turns into genocide in these games.
it's
Team Rocket just wanted to steal Pokemon. What was wrong with that?
well, listen, Cyrus is a 25-year-old who looks like he's at least 40 and he has massive depression. And that's
So
the leader of
is-
the organization.
My brain was convinced you were going to say massive boobs there. I don't know why. My brain
No.
also
The
fun
feels
thing
things
is-
what you say.
There's another organization where it's we're just here to steal Pokemon. But they're also sort of just being used in that sense. The Coliseum games, you had Team Snag'em, where they literally had a machine that they could use to quite literally steal them on out of your Pokeball.
Oh, nice.
It's like, oh, that's your Pokemon? Cool. I'm now going to throw a Pokeball and catch it, even though it's yours. Because
Thanks,
I
Miss.
have science.
So then,
But they were being used by another team, I think they were called Team Cypher.
yeah, Cypher
Um,
organization.
Cypher.
Yeah, who was like making shadow Pokemon, where it's like we're going to just shove so much hatred into this monster's brain that
Why?
they refuse to level up and also will just like attack everything, including potentially you. And also we're going to try and do that to legendary birds, and that will clearly work out nicely for us.
What's the
Yeah.
purpose of this?
The mayor's
Question mark,
insane.
question mark, question mark, profits?
Hang on, do I have a picture for this? No, not on this scene.
But yeah, then Gen 5 is, you know, like liberation of Pokemon followed by, you know, whatever the fuck.
We're going to make the Pokemon play League of Legends. Lewis, we do not do war crimes in this chat.
Isn't that just Pokemon Unite?
Again, we do not encourage war crimes in this chat.
I've
Then
never knighted a
let's
Pokemon.
see. Gen. I always forget whether X and Y or Sun and Moon comes first. I believe X and Y, so that's the genocide, because we
Yeah.
wanna, you know, it's either we want to kill everyone or we want to make everyone immortal, which is a weird, like, thing.
they're not.
Sun and Moon has Team Skull, which are honestly just your neighborhood hooligans who are just trying their best to maybe do crime, but usually they're just kind of annoying, and everyone's just like, oh, whatever, those are just those Team Skull guys.
I like them. They sound cool.
They're really cool, and they're led by your boy Guzma, which is literally how he introduces himself at one point. Ya boy Guzma. But there's also the Aether Foundation, I believe it's
Well,
called.
they sound incredibly evil.
Yeah, they do. Who are led by like the mother of one of your friends in game, and also one of your rivals in game. But they wanna like, I don't know what she wants. Not quite
She's
certain
doing
what she wants.
interdimensional
She
travel.
goes to like hyperspace at some point to do something? Question mark.
The vaguest bit I remember is like apparently her and husband had been doing some sciencey work with like interdimensional travel stuff. He has disappeared. She may or may not have been infected with like interdimensional goo from an octopus And now she's just obsessed with her work.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, excuse me, not octopus, jellyfish.
Oh, I got me.
I think we killed Chris.
Anyway, she's now obsessed with like these ultra beast things from that they found from their interdimensional research thing, and is now just like abandoned her children and is just hyper focused on that. And the results end up with crime happening because you know, mad science.
Mad scientist. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Profit? Then what's after Sun and Moon?
Also, they manufacture a Pokemon and stick a helmet on it to try and control it, and it doesn't work out so well for them.
Sword and Shield is Mr. Man who wants to fucking try to prevent the energy supply that will run out in 1,000 years. Will try to prevent that from happening by summoning the horrible hand from the darkest dimension or whatever. It's fine. It goes exactly as you expect.
These plans don't feel very well thought out so far.
They're really not. And I believe in the DLC, Swordward and Shieldward are also villains, but wait, those are just villains actually. That's not the evil team. The evil team or quote-unquote evil team in Galar is
It's just Team Yell.
the fucking groupies. Team Yell.
They just have vuvuzelas, that's why they're evil.
They just bought a vuvuzela. I believe their deal is that they are fans of one of the gym leaders, Pierce, and Pierce's sister Marnie is also competing in this gym challenge because they did like a whole thing around it, and they're trying to help her win, I guess. So that's Team Yell, and then in Paldea in Scarlet and Violet, it's Team Star, and Team Star is just a bunch of kids. They're just kind of like how to explain Team Star? Like they have like, you know, like five admins, quote unquote, who were all like bullied at school, I believe, at some point.
Yeah, aren't like most of them like high school dropouts or something like that?
Yeah, they're like dropouts, or like they're not really feeling great in school, so they made Team Star. But then at the end, Team Star gets disbanded because the main like girl behind it, Penny, is just like, I have friends now. This is fine. Team Star, bye. I think that's it. I'm not quite certain of that. I never got that invested in the Team Star storyline.
Yeah,
for maybe obvious reasons.
I think it says a lot that we've talked about being cursed by the space octopus. That still, that's actually the one I understand the least. There's a school club that got out of hand and then disbanded because they made friends. It's like none of this is an evil team. This is just an after-school club.
Not. Anyway, this creating Pokemon
a lot of the groups don't have real sensible plans, and I do include Team Rocket in this, if only because in Gen 2, Team Rocket's plan was, we're going to find Giovanni, and clearly he's going to put the team back together. And how are we going to find Giovanni? By shouting for him over the radio.
That is a clear plan. It's a bad one, but it is a clear plan, and I it's kind of endearing.
Like, well, what were they gonna do after that? Like, okay, you take over the radio tower, you start shouting for your leader. What were you going to do next?
Well,
What
that's
was
for
step
the
2?
leader to decide, huh?
Exactly. If they were good at planning these things, they wouldn't need a leader, would they?
But yeah, yeah. I mean, in Gen 2, they also just still continue to just do crime about it. It's not like they're not doing anything while they're waiting for Giovanni to come back.
All I remember is the Slowpoke Tales. That's about it.
Yeah.
The things
I
I
mean-
remember about Gen 2: Slowpoke Tales, Swinub, Skarmory, Pineco. That's about it.
They do enough crime for the champion Lance to just come in and start, like, for Lance to throw out his fucking Dragonite and make the Dragonite hyper beam people in the face.
Is that a crime? I feel like that's a crime.
Like, Lance did way more crime in that game just by doing that, but I can forgive him because I have a very weak spot for Lance. Purely because he's a dragon specialist with a cape.
You have a weakness for Lance, and the weakness is against Hyper Beam.
Yeah, also that. Listen, if Lance wants to let his Dragonite hyper beam people in the face, then I can only support that.
You're underestimating your options here, I think.
Chris, this prompt is very hard.
It is. That's why I didn't necessarily suggest it as a stream thing. I just wanted it as a general thing. I'm not going to try. It's a lot of effort. I mean, at the very least, you could think, like, you know, types and, like, design bases. So you've got, okay, Jesse's, like, rabbit, right? What type? What moves? That sort of stuff.
You just want me to start talking about Pokemon. God, I'm not drawing anymore.
You can draw, you can talk. It is up to you. Okay, come on.
Drayer season the outfits of the teams. Oh right, I was gonna draw Jupiter in Jupiter's outfit. From Team Galactic, I think I have to specify.
So I on my iPad I have Procreate, but I don't really use it because I'm at my computer all the time. But if I'm out and about and I want to draw something, I'll use Procreate. Problem is I'm never out and about, which means that the last thing I have in my Procreate was a reminder of a doodle that I was gonna do when I was with friends. I don't even think this was in the Netherlands. I think this was in London. It's the last thing I have in my Procreate, and it is a picture of Wallace from Pokemon Y and Wallace from Wallace and Gromit. To draw Wallace B and Wallace A's outfit. So I guess I should do that now. Let's do that.
Outfit swap.
Oh, no, it's Ruby and Sapphire. What did I think of Pokemon? So yeah, every time I open up Procreate on my iPad, that's the first thing I see.
And nothing's wrong with that. That's perfect.
I see no reason to open it right now.
The Aardman snip. I think that's a 4 in 200 chance. Also known as 1 in 50.
Well, that's not it.
The shutters are tightly sealed.
But because I'm pretty sure the easiest way to program that in would be to just make it random, that doesn't mean we're more likely to get it anytime you click the button.
I'm nothing but a craven.
Can I draw today is the question. It's the real question I'm struggling with right now. Jesus Christ.
Brock never met no lock he couldn't lick.
Hi, Brock.
Got some berries.
Wallace, you are a nightmare.
Let's maybe up some.
Now, are you going to give Wallace from Wallace and Gromit the Ralts that Wallace from Pokemon is?
Oh, Gromit is what Ralts, absolutely. That's a great idea.
Little green bowler hat.
At least we got Brock. Let's go get and get back to Nightmare Field. I'm just drawing Wallace. I haven't done anything weird yet.
That's always a great start, honestly.
I mean, I did literally just call him a nightmare, but that's...
I like how you just immediately went, I haven't done anything weird yet.
Oh, it's gonna happen. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Wallace from Pokemon, but it's quite the outfit. Anyway, glad you got tea.
I'm already just looking at what the fuck Jupiter's outfit is from Team Galactic, and it's like, what? The more I look at it, the more I'm just like, what? What is going on?
Welcome to Pokemon.
Why are you wearing
Designs.
that?
That's true for a lot of Pokemon outfits.
True. I mean, it is absolutely something Jupiter from my brain would also wear, but you know. His choice in fashion is also very questionable, so...
There's something wonderful about the human mind that you can invent something and then criticize what that invention would do, even though it's technically your invention.
No, it's his fault. It's absolutely Jupiter from my mind's fault.
Oh, ads.
I have never controlled his actions ever in my life. That's...
What? Okay, the wings aren't on the hat. No.
Great start.
I'm trying to
It's
work
what
out
I'm
this
hearing.
bloody outfit. Okay, yeah, there's a turnaround. Thank you. Thank you, concept art.
Good luck. You'll need it. Also talking about Ralts earlier, and then only a couple minutes later, I just realized I had gotten Wallace and Wally mixed up. So that's fun.
Oh, I still want to draw Gromit as a Ralts, though. Sounds fun.
I mean, I won't stop you. I just will point out I said that because I was thinking of the wrong character. In my defense, both of their names start with W, and my brain just sort of latches onto the first letter and sorts
That's fair.
characters that way.
Then, Amy, your understanding hit a wall.
Yep.
Because they both begin with a wall. Will your headache going away anytime soon? Yes? Yes. Your headache can leave, the guards are dead. It bodes well.
Having fun with QuoteBot still.
Of course.
What's Ulan
Can't
up
move
to
on
right
to
now?
Spence.
Ulan's on fire. Okay.
Oh. Well, you probably did something to deserve it.
That's fine, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no.
think that's fine.
Oh no, cat. Have a good luck. Go get nice food or something. Play with pup.
Alright, that's a decent Jupiter base.
Opie? Opie.
What?
Opie.
Opie?
Opie. Fanfic. Yeah, they're good fanfic.
Yes. All the good hobby art.
Stardew fanfic?
Third with fanfic? Hell yeah. Go for it. Do it, miss. Okay. Jupiter. Outfits.
I mean, you don't have to finish the book by Tuesday, miss. You just might have to return the book.
Okay.
Calvin and Hobbes and Stargate Atlantis crossover fic. I am intrigued.
Interesting.
Yeah, sure.
I
why
mean,
not?
I won't say I'm confused because there was a time and place where I just consumed all of the crossover fictions I could find, up to and including one lengthy extended series that included Airwolf, Stargate SG-1, Gargoyles, and Roni Kenshin all in the same universe.
Sure.
To be fair, I think there's been several instances of Stargate where fictional things have become real or virtual reality gets out of the thing. So there's plenty of ways to take something that would otherwise be fictional and make it manifest in Stargate.
Yeah, except in this case, that's not the case in the universe of these fanfics. They didn't know these are actually real. Gargoyles are actually a thing.
Okay.
From what I vaguely remember, they managed to make it work, but it's if you just look at the list of stuff that's all in the series of fics, because there's multiple fics in here, sometimes focusing on different chunks of the world. But it's like in the extended bit of this, these are all happening in the same universe. That was one of the things I sort of enjoyed. How do they make them mix? How do you mash them? How do you convince me that these, yes, indeed, can be in the same universe? And you not just saying a wizard did it.
A wizard did it.
Because, like, I'm not as big into crossovers with Kingdom Hearts because, like, that's too easy. That's, like, lowball. Like, you don't even have to think about how do I do a crossover fanfic with Kingdom Hearts. Like, that's just the premise. Of
Yeah.
The series.
How do you know a Kingdom
But it's
Hearts
like-
crossover? Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts.
But it's like, how are you going to make me believe that indeed we can have Roni Kenshin characters and Stargate SG-1 characters in the same room talking in the same universe? And it not just be a wizard did it. Actually, I have that series bookmarked. I might just put that in Discord as well for anyone who's curious to see what the heck they did. Going to take me a moment because I need to sort this so it shows up. Which means filtering out a lot of these 400 bookmarks so that I can find it. Here we go, urban legends. Now, I've just realized that, of course, AO3 doesn't have little preview things when you put it in Discord, because AO3 is incredibly lightweight and doesn't have a lot of that information in their URLs. So we're going to edit that so that there's some context. Oh god, I just remembered there's like 50 stories in this series. A lot of them being one-shots, but still, I always forget how much work, how much stuff this writer put into that extended universe. Jesus.
One day I would like to have the work ethic of a fanfic writer. That would be nice.
I had it and then I lost it.
You and every other writer. Oh, there's a lad with his amazing face.
Listen.
New emote one.
No. Not everything can be an emote.
Oh, why not? Wait, hang on.
Listen.
And why not?
Why not?
Oh, why not?
I mean, I will not complain about having a cute Why Not around. They are adorable.
It's so cute.
Anyway, back to this monstrosity.
They are a very adorable little
Back
punching
to
bag.
the monstrous.
I mean, I could be drawing more of these, but no, this I have to return to my hideous
you?
toil.
I mean, you don't have to.
Nobody
No one is stopping you
forced
from
to
drawing more
do
cute
this.
I
ones.
must. I am compelled by forces unknown.
I'm not sure you
I
are.
mean, if you don't know the forces, you can just ignore them.
Yeah,
They keep sending me
real
mail.
easy, Chris. Have you considered, like, not?
I considered why not.
Yeah, have you considered why not?
I
Just
did,
as a
but
Pokemon.
that's why I drew them.
'Cause I think they're really cute. And you should draw more of them. Alright.
Can be your Angle and Devly. I can be your Wallace or your Gromit.
Yeah, I'd say Wallace's outfit makes more sense when you learn that apparently he also did some contest stuff, but also it still does not make sense even in that context.
The context is that he's gay. That's the context I care about. He's gay and he's anime. I don't see the issue. I do see the issue with this Wallace.
No, I see. It's fine when Pokemon Wallace is gay, but when Wallace and Gromit Wallace is gay.
Listen, if Wallace and Gromit Wallace is also gay, that's fine as well. I just have an issue with him and Wallace from Pokemon's outfit. Especially looking like that. With, like, the weird crabby hands. That looks slightly like... and the, manic smile.
He's just very enthusiastic about his new costume.
Great. Wonderful. Get him away from me. Brush milestone, yeah, yippee.
They're still doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. It used to, like, not do it for me, and then suddenly, like, a couple weeks ago, it was something like, hey, have you heard about brush milestones? And I was like, yeah, but why? Why? Why did you do this to me? Everyone else dealt with this. I thought I escaped. Are you drawing another why not?
Whenever somebody asks a question of why, and I want to say why not, I just draw another one.
Wonderful.
We could just put this into an infinite loop of us asking us why you would do that.
No, it doesn't count. It has to be organic.
I see.
Not have any of
So
the
then
rough.
it suddenly doesn't count.
Yes.
But why does it not count?
Because of the laws of my noggin.
But how will we know the laws of your noggin?
Nobody will ever know the laws of my noggin, not least of all me.
Why not?
Well, now you've got to draw. Getting into dangerous Rosencrantz and Guildenstern situation here. Again, any attempt to abuse the system will fail.
Will it? Why?
Well, as long as I notice. We shall see.
That's Jupiter. We're mostly covered, but just a little bit of this thigh out.
What have I done to Gromit? Well, I was going to do Ralts, because Ragdoll mentioned it, but then they said that I was thinking of the wrong character, so I looked up what Wallace had. And Wallace has a Milotic, is that how you pronounce it? Milotic? One of those.
Yay. Melodic.
The beautiful long fish that comes from the ugly small fish.
Yay.
And when I call it beautiful, that's not just me saying stuff about the design. Literally, it evolves by upping its beauty stat.
Yeah.
It's a beauty stuff.
Yeah, it's the thing, like, where in the generation it was introduced, it was, because you have, like, contests and, like, you can up, like, your Pokemon's, like, stats by giving them Poffins. I think it's Poffins then as well.
Well, yeah, these days it's Poffins. Back then they were Pokeblocks. They were like little candies.
But your Pokemon could have like stats like cool and beauty and
You know, the things you
all
can
those
easily
things.
quantify.
Yeah, you know. What's Jupiter's beauty stat? Maxed out.
Smart stat in the
Yeah.
negatives.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was.
And
Let
then
me see.
if you
Tough.
upped your beauty stats on Feebas to a certain point, it would evolve into Milotic. And then after, I think it was a couple of generations, they were like, well, we don't have contests anymore, and we don't have need for these stats, so I guess we'll just make it evolve with, like, an item. And not make it impossibly hard anymore. I do love the fucking... What's Jupiter's beauty stat followed immediately by drugs, which might also be accurate.
There was beauty, smart, cool, cute, and tough.
Oh, yeah.
Those were the 5 contest types. And then later on, they changed around how contests work, so now that's all defunct.
Jupiter would absolutely have a melodic, now that I think about it. I mean, just any Pokemon that could be classified as beautiful, but you know. He is a superficial bitch like that.
What? Jupiter? Never. A day.
I know. Comes as a shock to everyone that Jupiter is superficial. And the bitch. Truly shocking. Never have guessed. I know, right? Comes across so sympathetic and kind and like he truly tries to get to know you. Let's... Oh, what's her name? I want to draw MJ up as her. Plumeria.
Who the one? Who?
It's, Team Skull Admin. Plumeria. And I was immediately like, that's fucking the MJ outfit, if I remember correctly. No, for the record, that's Plumeria.
There's a record? Oh.
Yes. You've not been keeping a record.
Problem is when you say, oh yeah, that's an MJ outfit, and then you show us that, and it's like, yeah, that is an MJ outfit. However, I am now imagining all of your OCs wearing, and trying to think of who it would suit the least. But honestly, I'm struggling.
Listen, I can't help that they all dress like that.
Buddy.
buddy showing skin? Impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of a few characters that, in the literal sense, it probably wouldn't fit on as drawn, but
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
because your characters have more curves than that stick.
Oh yeah, in
I mean,
literal sense, that wouldn't fit on
as
MJ.
drawn, then MJ definitely wouldn't fit in.
As drawn, I think most people wouldn't fit.
As drawn, MJ is not fitting into that, thank you.
That's a cool design. I like it. It's got sort of vague early
Also-
2000s vibe.
Should probably show Guzma as well, because I love Guzma. He's so stupid.
Anyway, there you go. There's Wallace as Wallace.
It's ya boy.
Yeah, boy. Look at this disaster.
Look at him.
I mean, he very much is a disaster.
He is gonna get that record deal. Honest.
I
believe ya
believe,
boy Guzma.
if I remember correctly, Team Skull is made out of a bunch of people who just fucked up the variant of the gym challenge that happens on those islands.
Yep.
And then just immediately decided, cool, I'm gonna go join a gang instead.
Basically.
That sounds like an issue with the gym challenge, to be honest.
A little bit, yeah.
The education system let them down. They dropped out. It's not their fault.
Nah, I don't think it's their fault either. I mean, they do also end up, like, joining hands with the Aether Federation, which is, you know, like, the scientist lady octopus space nonsense.
Well, yeah,
so
yeah,
that
but-
might be a little bit questionable.
But if the pre-existing structures of society have let you down, and somebody with perceived authority comes along and says, "I will help you," then you're gonna take it.
True.
If you are eschewed
I
by,
do not blame them for that.
what draw?
Another guy in Pokemon Club. Join me on Pokemon Fashion Adventure.
Okay.
Draw one of your OCs in Flint's. Including.
Is that the clown guy? That's the clown guy.
That is the clown guy. That's why I wanted to say including a wig.
Including a wig.
of- Look at that.
That's. No, I can't say that because it's basically just describing someone I knew at school. That feels bad. Jan.
I mean, every time I see him,
Jan
every
goes
time
like
I see him, my first thought is Ronald McDonald ass motherfucker.
that. Yeah, the color scheme doesn't help.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, Kira's also just suggested I draw a Rowena power washing abacus.
Also fair.
Here we had Dishonored RPGs, and there was many a purple goop, well, because we fought the fearsome purple goop monsters. Those of you of a nervous disposition, look away now. Ho, ho, ho. Terrifying.
So terrifying.
I do have to ask though, who put the facial hair on it?
We discovered in the other RPG session that there are drawing tools in Roll20, and that's the end of any kind of seriousness of any campaign from now on.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, especially with like, just honestly angry at me. The slime enemies give us more freedom because we can just draw on whatever the fuck we want. But anything will do.
Yeah, Dark did facial hair. Kira did the angry eyebrows and the blush and the purple goop. And I drew, I gave one of them Flynn's hat. Yes, that hat was left floating on the ocean. Flynn's hat floating on the water.
No. I'll draw MJ today. This is not gonna.
What, who?
Snake, that's a prison cell. You can't
I don't
open the
believe
door
you.
from the inside.
Chib has deleted their art.
No!
Delete your art.
No. Also, I apologize if anyone's hearing any weird noises. My stomach today is just having a go.
I've not been hearing weird noises.
Good.
I mean, if your stomach is loud enough to be picked up on the mic, I have other concerns.
It's a good mic.
gonna have to make my calculus class redo some stuff on this test. They're making a bunch of stupid algebra errors.
That's stoic. Oh my
Maybe.
god.
You gotta pick the right person for the outfit. And when there isn't a right person, you do stoic.
Stoic will do whatever the fuck. And I love that for Stoic.
Have I eaten? No, you never need to ask if I've eaten.
Have you eaten too much?
No. I don't know why, it's just having a go.
Yeah.
There's no ill effects, it just wants to make some noise.
Sometimes stomachs be like that.
Sometimes the tombibirumble.
Yeah.
Nods in IBS. The International Bank of Scotland.
Well, I'm out of drunk juice, so instead I'm gonna pick Pokemon outfits for our season.
Yeah.
I like lead 4 outfits are a good place to start. They usually have some cute outfits. I mean, some are very dated, but you know.
Yeah. Like Agatha.
Agatha's very dated, yes. Okay. Bear.
Well, that's a good start.
Calling you out specifically. Because I have an Elite Four member that I'm very biased against, despite I don't think I've ever actually beaten the Elite Four of that game. But I want you to draw Miles as that Elite Four member. And I have no specific desire as to why other than vibes. I just want to see it. It's just for me.
I recognize this
I
one.
just feel like Miles could pull it off.
Is he going to do his hair like that as well? Or?
I don't know how that would work with long hair.
I mean,
but I think he can do it. I think Miles should try.
I think Theo should try, but that's just me. No, wait, Theo is Flint.
Oh, look, it's a little shit. Yeah, can you guess, just based on vibes, why I might be biased towards him? I mean, also he's a dark type Elite Four member, so you know, that's also just my bias towards dark types.
I mean, there aren't a lot of trainers that use dark types.
No, it's
For a while, there weren't many dark
Bug
types.
types, actually, now that I think about it.
no, because it's Gen 3. You have Elite Four member Sydney. Then you have Grimsley, which is the one I just showed you. And then I think you have Pierce as the
There's
first dark type gym leader.
2. There's an Elite Four member in Gen 2 that uses dark types. I don't remember her name, though.
Gen 2. No, Oh, Karen.
Yeah, there we go, Karen.
Yeah, Karen is also. Is Karen dark type? Yes, Karen is dark
Yeah,
type.
I think in the original Gen 2, some of her team wasn't dark, but that's just because there was like 4 of them. Or there was like 4 Pokemon that were dark types.
Yeah. When was the first Ghost Gym?
First Ghost
Gen
Gym?
2.
Yeah.
Oh, was that also Gen 2?
Yeah, then you have Morty, the Ghost Gym leader of Gen 2. I think he only has, like, Gengar. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he
Hunters
also
and
didn't
Gengar.
have many ghosts in his actual team, but that's just because of limitations of the time.
Yeah, that's why I
Because
was...
the ghost types in Gen 2
Intrigued.
are still basically just, like, the Gengar line and, like, Mischievous.
Mischievous.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It really didn't like making ghosts back then.
No, but there was a ghost type gym leader for some reason.
They are to ghost types what Flint is to fire. Is it Flint? It's the fire one with no fire Pokemon.
Yeah, Flint
Yeah.
is the fire type gym leader with no fire types. Or, like, 2 fire types, and the rest of his team is just nothing. Yeah.
Would Can you envision a scenario, a perfectly reasonable scenario, I think, in which, like, they just didn't have Ghost type in Gen 1, and they just said, oh yeah, the Ghost ones, they're Psychic type. They could have done that. It's only that
They
one
could have done that.
family of Pokemon that are Ghosts, so...
I mean, the thing is, the Gengar line is also poison types. They could have just made them poison types as well.
Poison Psychic. Could have worked.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Works
they felt the need to
just
add
as
an
well,
entire...
honestly.
I guess Dragon as well had that with Dragonite.
Yeah. I mean, like, Dragon, I kinda get a little bit, because it's like, ooh, Dragon type. It's very, very special. Look, it's the only dragon. It's Dragonite. It's like, sure, whatever, you know? You're still trying shit out, and you're trying to make something really, really special.
Yeah,
Especially
Gen
because, like, that's the final Elite Four member you're gonna go up against. And that's
Gen
basically the
1
only guy who uses them, so...
Gen 1 hadn't really figured out what the heck it wanted Pokemon to be yet, which is fine. It's the first game. I'd argue Gen 2 was also kind of all over the place.
Gen 2 is...
Gen 2 is... Oh god, we gotta
Gen
do it again?
2 is basically Gen 1 DLC.
Yeah. That's reasonable.
It's like,
I mean,
cool.
you say that, but there's
kinda,
twice
like...
as much game in Gen 2 as Gen 1.
It's a big DLC.
But yeah,
Yes,
it's still very
but-
much connected to it.
Back then it was an
Like-
expansion.
Yeah. it's basically an expansion pack for Gen 1, as in, like, cool, we kind of figured something out, maybe a little bit to counter some problems that were had. So, you know, psychic types no longer all powerful, yay!
We fixed that.
We kind of
yeah,
fixed that.
This is why. Now the remakes are different in a sense. Like if you want to play Fire Red and Leaf Green, fine. But this is why I don't generally recommend people go all the way back and play the original Red and Blue or the original Gold, Silver, Crystal, because oh boy, there's a hot mess in there. Gen 3 is about as far back as I recommend anyone going.
Yeah.
Unless you want to do one of those Gen 1 Pokemon runs where you just completely destroy the game's code.
True.
Which is always entertaining.
I mean, if you wanna have a janky time, sure, go ahead. But if you're wanting to just casually play, yeah, no.
That they make all the worst decisions. They don't make all the worst decisions. It's just that they make decisions.
They make a lot of decisions.
And then they forget them the next gen on. Like,
yeah.
The only alternate
Final
battling type that's like stayed consistent through across multiple gens is the double battles. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that get introduced and then just disappear.
I mean, I went back and watched somebody play Sword and Shield when that first came out, and like chat were just sort of constantly complaining that nothing from previous games sticks and all that sort of stuff. And I just suddenly had the realization of like, gosh, I grew up with Final Fantasy, where they just rewrote the entire mechanics from the ground up every single time. I'm kind of sort of spoiled with the idea of not expecting anything to be carried through.
Yeah, but like starting
get
from
that,
Gen
but
2
also
on,
Final Fantasy, so far as I've seen it, is like basically a new game every time.
Yeah, there's no particular reason for any game to be called Final Fantasy, to be honest.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's called Final Fantasy or Schmeinel's Fantasy. It's a completely different game altogether, so it makes sense if mechanics change. It's just that Pokemon is always very recognizable as Pokemon, for
Also,
better or worse.
they keep doing the thing of like you can take your Mons on to the next game, which means you need to have some level of consistency for them to like work.
Yeah.
Like, in order to move it on to the next game, it needs to exist in that game.
Yeah, which, by the way, they're currently, like, developing, like, a straight-up, like, Pokemon battle sim. So that's gonna probably cause so many issues. Because it's just gonna, you know... Because you're gonna have to, like... I believe it's connected to Pokemon Home. So... Which is where you store, like, most of your Pokemon from, like... I wanna say, like, Sun and Moon forwards? Like, X and Y. That's when you can store them from Pokemon Home. But anyway, it's gonna cause a mess, I already know.
Yeah, this is very much they sort of did this to themselves. Because basically what they did is they went, okay, cool, you've played Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2. Now you can take your white mage from Final Fantasy 1 up into Final Fantasy 3. Which doesn't work.
Yeah.
See, now I want to start a conversation about who from each Final Fantasy game would be overpowered if you put them into another game. But also, I don't know who I'd have that conversation.
Isn't that just everyone?
No.
Anyway, I don't know enough about Final Fantasy, so you should probably have that conversation with Kira.
Exactly.
I
mean, the fun thing is,
not for now.
there's things that are sort of like in the middle. So like with the Dragon Quest games, yeah, those are different every single time. You've got a different cast of characters and whatnot. But like the purpose of spells and the way you sort of handle battles has stayed consistent. So it's not like, oh, we're going to take a character and move them on into the next game, trade them up or whatever. But we also aren't reinventing the car every single time. They're just going, cool, we're using the same mechanics, but we're set in a different world. With some changes due to, like, updates in technology, like moving from pixel art to 3D and whatnot. But, like, Zoom is still Zoom. And Zing is still Zing. And yes, there's a spell in the Dragon Quest games called Zing. And another one called Kuzzing. And the main times they introduce, like, new abilities, it's, like, specific to a certain boss or a certain character. And one of these days I'm going to play some of the Dragon Quests on stream and show all of you this nonsense.
Yeah.
This delightful nonsense full of puns. Because, spoiler alert, if you are not okay with puns, you are going to have a bad time in Dragon Quest. A really bad time. Like, for like, just even with names of monsters, like, it's one of the newer ones. So there, as you go through the series, there's a lot of monsters that appear in multiple games. So like slimes are in pretty much every single Dragon Quest. That's unavoidable. That's like, the slime is sort of their mascot, so it's in everything. But there are other critters that only are created later on, and there's been like 11 games, so we've got many years of characters being made. So one of the quote-unquote newer monsters, which is always sort of funny to me. Oh, and also monsters, there are different types. So you'll sometimes have ones where it's like they're the same base but recolored, sort of like with your Final Fantasy. And one of the monsters, I think it first appeared in 10, something like that, 9 or 10. Oh, that didn't load in correctly. Hold on.
Holding.
It's called a Hat Ham Witch.
It's got a one.
A Hat Ham Witch.
Oops. We're opening it here, I guess.
That could also be a Yu-Gi-Oh monster.
That's absolutely a Yu-Gi-Oh monster.
And there is a more powerful variant of it that is called a Ham Shamwich. And it's a pig wearing a witch hat. But yeah, everything is full of puns in those games.
Mhm.
Also, one of the most powerful / least powerful types of units you can have is a literal clown.
Flynn?
Christ. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna have to make my class do test corrections because this is so bad. Of course, and now that I've brought it up, I've got some of the battle music from Dragon Quest just stuck in my head. Jesus. I've played too much of that game.
Evidently you haven't played enough. You need to play it for us. On stream.
Yes.
Sexy wet tiger.
Ideally in a semester where I'm not taking 2 classes while teaching 4.
Sorry, we'll have to derail that to ask Miss what they mean by sexy were tiger.
It's Karina.
Oh yeah, there's
Okay, that answers my question.
what's it called? There's
fun outfit for him.
there's a monster in the game that looks essentially like a man wearing a tiger suit. He is not sexy in the original games. He looks sort of like he's just having a scream.
Well, alright.
Love that outfit
I
for
don't
him.
remember what they're called though.
Yeah, I like Lysander's outfit. I thought.
Oh, Lysander. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, who could have cool biker suit?
Yep, there we go. Wear tigers. They've been around significantly longer. 4?
That's not our wet tiger.
That's what it's called. But yeah, it is just an angry dude wearing a tiger skin.
I also, by the way, Chris, I think that you should give Nova, your OC Nova, November, Raihan's hoodie.
What? Whose hoodie?
The rest of his outfit doesn't matter, but I think Nova would like a big hoodie where he comes out of the mouth of a dragon.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, you know, Kiro, now that you've spelled it out, I'm pretty sure that is the pun because I didn't remember how it was spelt. He is wearing a tiger. It is wear tiger as in wearing a tiger. There are color variants of it called a cheetah cheetah, and another one called an otter shambles.
That's fair. But yes, Chib, you are correct.
Hell yeah. Velvet deserves a hoodie. A big hoodie. I mean, also I feel like it's generally correct then to say that June would probably dress up as Fantina. The ghost gym leader that I fought recently.
Oh yeah.
Big, like, thrift loot inspired ball gown.
June, in general, I think June just would have a field day in the Pokemon world with outfits.
Yeah, I think so too. Hmm.
Yeah, how goes the outfit search for your OCs?
I'm looking. Remembering what Pokemon outfits look like.
Ostentatious.
Often. It's either like very ostentatious or just some guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes that guy looks like Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. That's just Flint.
And sometimes that guy looks like a 50-year-old salaryman that got isekai'd into the Pokemon world.
True. That's Larry. Classic Larry.
Love Larry.
Larry is great. I just love the fucking Tumblr comic where it's telling the player character that he got isekai'd into the Pokemon world just to keep doing the same work he did, but now with Pokemon. He is perfect. It's the thing.
Oh, this guy. He needs a day off.
He really does. He works 2 jobs.
Literally.
Was
He's a
this
gym leader and an Elite Four member.
was this the staff at Game Freak going? We're gonna channel our burnout.
It might be.
You have to make a game every single year.
Yeah.
Which they shouldn't.
I also always
And in the
forget
past, they
that
hadn't. And it's wild to me that's now a thing that's expected of them.
also just keep forgetting that the fucking Elite Four, like, rooms in fucking Scarlet and Violet just look like that. Like, they, you know, Elite Four rooms have never had too much stuff going on, but just fucking cubes. Okay.
They saw the seminal Canadian horror film Cube and went, yeah, that's what we want.
Mm.
We have drawn this. Makes it look like M's just twice the size of Stoic. It was tiny Stoic.
It's what happens when Stoic loses all his hit points. Then he just becomes 2 tiny Stoics.
Very small.
The power of clothes. Very silly. Chris, you're a silly, silly guy.
What?
As
How dare you?
I know, right?
It will beak sword. Cat has beak sword.
Ooh, big sword.
And or
Yeah.
big pair of scissors. Difficult to tell.
That'd be some very awkward scissors.
Yeah. More shears, I guess. Or big sword made of lots of little swords, a la Advent Children.
I was about to say, we're gonna Final Fantasy VII this.
Yeah. It's basically all I remember of that film. What if my sword was just 20 swords? So silly.
Very, very silly.
We just quite like the regular Team Flare suit. Just neat.
Yeah. I'm not a particular fan of the Team Flare suits, but I can seedy appeal.
The sunglasses and the hair look stupid, but
Yeah, I think
This-
if like the sunglasses and the hair were different, then it would have been better. But
there's also the fact that they have a very strong, like, orange motif, and yet they decide to differentiate between various people by adding another strong color, and I hate it.
oh yeah, that looks bad.
You know, if I remember correctly, most of the Team Flare grunts and whatnot are just like rich kid assholes.
Yeah, they got that vibe. Which is maybe why I was thinking about Malachi.
Meanwhile, the Team Galactic grunts are just.
Meanwhile,
Like you did that on purpose?
remember that line. You will hear it in the Dead Island highlights.
Oh my god.
I mean, I sort of get, like, aesthetically what the game designers were going for, but the UFO hair is a bit much.
Oh no, a monster is grabbing the person from the back, from behind, grabbing their head. Also, the main person just really looks like the lead singer of Muse back in the day.
Oh my god. Listen. Cyrus is going through some things. I think it fits.
I mean, lots of people are going through some things. Most of them don't end up going, cool, we're gonna just blow up the world.
I love the Team Skull grunts. Look at them.
I do, however, find it very... So with the Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, for Diamond and Pearl separately, he's going after only one of the time-space continuum gods thing. So he, like, goes and gets this, like, gets these magic gems and makes a chain to, like, control it. But if I remember correctly, in Platinum, since it's like, okay, cool, he's going after both of them because the main focus of this is Giratina, he does all that, creates one chain, and then, like, via the power of science, duplicates it so he can control both. Which brings up many questions.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I'm a little worried about it.
No, I don't think you should be worried about it.
Mildly concerning. Very funny, but mildly concerning. Because, yeah, he finds stuff that can be used to control a god, and then, via the power of science, makes a duplicate of it. And then a giant, horrifying nightmare monster shows up, and everything goes to shit. Because no one ever plans for a horrible, giant, horrible nightmare monster to show up and mess up their plans. Which I think is an oversight in a world where giant, horrible nightmare monsters exist. Like, it's one thing to go, oh, Surely my plan won't be messed up by a giant horrible nightmare monster. Those don't exist. Even in Pokemon, you can literally shove a giant horrible nightmare monster into your box and keep it as a pet.
True.
Like, even if it's not the giant horrible nightmare monster of legend, like Ghastly exist.
Hey, you leave Ghastly alone.
Ghastly is cute.
Them's a cutie pie.
Anyway, now I'm just showing off evil, evil team. Admins and grunts.
That's fine. I'm looking at pictures of Matt Bellamy. I'm trying to find one that's.
I love the like Alpha Ruby, Omega Sapphire. Nope, the Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire.
Alpha Sapphire, Omega
redesigns.
Ruby.
Yes, redesigns for Team Aqua and Team Magma. They look so good. I really like it.
I mean, I
They
find
look
it funny
silly
that
and
they
goofy,
they
but,
took Archie. They took two characters where it's like, oh, this seems Archie, who's dressed sort of like mildly respectable, and just turned him into a superhero pirate.
yeah,
And they took Maxie, who's dressed again mildly respectable, looking all like evil villain, and just turned him into a giant nerd. Which, on one hand, correct. He is, and we will shove him into a locker.
I feel like I should really show off the like original designs to really show the difference.
Like they took two guys who just look sort of like dudes, just respectable dudes, and then turned one into a superhero pirate and the other into just a huge nerd.
Yeah, and they're married. They're also going through a divorce, but you know. We're having a divorce arc going on through the Pokemon game, and then at the end it's all good. They're twice divorced, and now they're getting married for a third time, and this time it will definitely work out. Love that for him. Chris, what is
It's my evidence.
Oh my god.
This is the guy. It's the lead singer of Muse.
I hate that I can see it.
Back in the early 2000s, when he had blue spiky hair, or red spiky hair. I'm certain there is a picture of Matt Bellamy standing exactly in the same pose as that picture, but I can't find it.
Surely.
Sorry, it's not a most entertaining stream. Look at an off-center canvas, mostly empty, while I look at pictures of Matt Bellamy off stream.
I'm sure we've had less interesting streams.
Oh, I've definitely had less interesting streams. I talked about maths.
Two characters in the Magnus Archive. One of them is a nerd and the other is a sea captain. Oh boy, I have that to look forward to when I get back to that.
One of them is always mentally adrift. The other one is a sea captain.
The thing is, I remember a couple of episodes where a boat was involved and sea stuff is involved. So, ooh, that'll be fun if more of that's coming up. Because there was an episode where basically it's we're not lost at sea, but we might as well be lost at sea, and also we've lost someone while we're at sea. And by lost, I mean we probably ritually sacrificed them while they were on the boat.
What?
Sure.
You might as well do that.
Don't worry about it.
I might as well.
That's just full of horrors. It's fine.
It's all good. Oh, I always forget about the guy with the tan.
Guy with the tan?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just still looking at Pokemon Gym Leader and such.
Guy with a tan.
There's in I think it's black and white. He's like the water gym leader. He's like the 8th one. There you are. Marlon. I always fucking his it's like fine at first, and then you notice that it's a tan.
Yeah, interesting.
That was a choice.
Yeah. I also think it was a choice. I don't think it was a good choice. But it certainly was a choice.
Like,
Did the
there
legs
are
shrink?
some... there are some things where it's like you look at it and go like, okay, they forgot to do a fill bucket thing. So this part is now no longer a color that it needs to be. But looking at the waist area, no, that's on purpose.
There's a
They
gradation
did that
there.
on purpose.
Yeah.
They did that for some reason.
That's not just, oh, they had a placeholder color in for the feet and forgot to change it. Someone did that on purpose.
Yep. Someone decided on purpose that instead of just,
Oh, good, you can.
having a darker skinned person, no. He has a tan and we'll make it clear.
So, fun fact, I just realized the Discord app, as opposed to the web app, when you have a picture that's bigger than Discord, you can click on it to zoom in, and if I do that, it zooms right there.
Of course.
You want to zoom there? Is that what you want to look at?
That's what you want to look at.
Stop, I just want to click off, I don't want to zoom.
Zoom. Just keep zooming. Oh god. Such a fucking choice. Like, I do really like the the black and white character designs, but I don't like that one.
I mean, and you know what the fun thing is? That's not really how tans work. Like, if you are that light-skinned by default, tanning is not going to make you that dark. But 2, if the implication is like, oh, he goes around most of the time, and like, yeah, there's a bit of a tan line between where his swim pants sometimes fall, or usually fall. If he's going around and he's not also got his feet completely covered. The tops of his feet will also be tanned. So, like,
I think is the implication that it just spends a lot of time half submerged in water.
I think so. Maybe he is the water gym leader. If it wasn't clear by, the swim pants.
and the fishing net with the Pokeballs in it.
Yeah.
And the goggles.
There's a few implications. It's very subtle.
There's a few things. Yeah.
Very subtle. Pokemon known for its subtle character design.
I know, the most subtle, always so subtle.
Subtle's the name of the Pokemon, yeah?
Yes.
Sudtle.
Yeah. But I do like all the others, and I think they look neat.
It is still just like, that's just the puffiest coat.
Yeah. It's a good coat.
If I remember correctly, though, she's also got just like the meanest, like one of the meanest types as her main thing. Because in case you couldn't notice, Miss Yellow Puffy Coat there is the electric gym leader. Again, subtle. But that's the generation where the electric mouse is electric flying.
Yep.
Oh, Emolga.
Yeah, it's Emolga, and
Sus.
she has, I believe, 2 Emolga and like a Zepstrika.
So you go in going, cool, I'm gonna use ground types, and then it's like, haha, bitch, you thought.
Yeah. The 2 Emolgas also constantly use Volt Tackle, so they're constantly like switching. I believe the Zepstrika also has Volt Tackle.
That rings a bell.
Zepstrika also has like Flamethrower or something like that. So
The constant switching. Despite liking this gen, I remember almost nothing about it. But now you've mentioned constantly switching Emolga, I'm like, oh.
You remember the constantly switching Emolga?
I remember the constantly switching Emolga. I remember Texan Oilman has Big Mole Pokemon. Drillbur?
Yeah. Excadrill
Excadrill.
is the big one. Drillbur is the tiny one, who is very cute.
I forgot about
Excadrill is also mean to fight, but that's for different reasons.
Oh yeah, I like when I like the first couple times I played Black and White, I could never get past him because of the fucking Excadrill. I just couldn't do it. It was just impossible. They have some, yeah. But it's fun. Fun that there's
There's a reason why Excadrill's used in a lot of pro teams. It's Jesus.
It's a pretty nasty one to go up against. It's strong.
I think they also use it in one of the speed runs, but I don't remember which.
It's also because it's steel ground, I believe. Excadrill. Because he is the ground type gym leader, but I think it's also second type steel, so it's like your usual tactics of like using water against it, not gonna work. You cannot put the fire type out against it because it knows like rock throw and other rock moves. It's a very difficult Pokemon to go up against. Yeah, I don't think I ever got to the second half of Black and White because of that guy. Fucking... Is it Cliff? Or Clint? Something like that.
Whenever you kept saying Flint as a gym leader, I kept thinking of this guy, which is why I kept getting confused. So it might be
Yeah, no.
Clint, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's Clint. Cliff. No, that's Pokemon Go. But is it Clint? Clay. That's the one.
Clay! There we are.
Because of course it is.
Yeah. Subtlety, you know? Which is also, I think, one of the funniest things when it comes to, like, Pokemon Legends Arceus, where they have, like, I'd say references, but, you know, that would imply more subtlety. So, like, a bunch of characters are, like, ancestors, basically, of other characters you've seen in the franchise. Which is fun. It, again, reference would imply subtlety, but there's this little guy who just straight up has, like, Clay's hat. Because he's like an ancestor of Clay. So he just straight up has the hat. Is like, I'm from Unova. It's like, cool, I know who you are.
I mean, they also just, like, picked up one of the... I don't think he's technically a gym leader. He's from the train thing. Like, one of the train conductors. And, like, shoved him in there.
Yeah, that one was just, like... That's straight up time travel, which is fine, because you also time traveled in Legend Arceus. You time traveled. So it makes sense if there's another character who time traveled. But yeah, they just did just steal what's his name? Ingo or something like that. Who is from I think it's Black and White, the battle train.
They stole the one with the black coat, and I think his name is...
I think his name is Ingo. Yeah. But yeah. But that's like, okay, that one's time travel. The other ones are just straight up like, we took a character design we liked and we kind of did it again, but slightly to the left, and now it's a different character and their ancestors.
It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Sure. Because in Legends Arceus, you're also joining, like, Team Galactic, but it's not Team Galactic as in Pokemon Platinum. You're not an evil team, it's just, like, a scouting team, basically, or something. Let me see. I don't know her name, but, like, of course the, like, leader is, like, Cyrus's ancestor, who you just compared to that singer.
Their name is Matt.
There she is. And it's like, oh yeah, Cyrus's ancestor, aka I think just Cyrus if he were a woman. That's it.
Cyrus, if transitioning could save him.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at the two people in the background and how like one of one of them is like face size slider 50% and the other one is face size slider 150%.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, let me just here's one with the little guy with Clay's hat.
That's just Claire as a child.
I know.
The great thing is it looks even funnier because pretty much everyone's clothing is based off of like ye olde Japan. For some value of ye olde in Japan.
The child does have a little, just a smidge of flint hair. But...
Not everyone with an afro.
I'm just saying. I don't. There
Has
might.
Flint's hair.
There may be some, the family connection. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe.
Flint, Clay. It's both. Earthy names.
There's some more examples of like, oh yeah, ancestors, aka just the character, but slightly to the left.
I mean, the one on the left is not slightly to the left. That's literally the same character.
The one on the
That's
left
just
is
Candace.
That's the same model.
face paint. Yay! One in the middle, I can say that's
Yeah, the one in the middle is like different enough. The bangs are sort of the same, but it's different enough. And then on the right, they at least attempted to change the hairstyle a bit. But like the one on the left is just like that's the same model. You just put different clothes on it. Can I copy your homework? Sure, but don't make it obvious.
Have a good honk show, miss.
I mean, to be fair, they just they based two characters on Cynthia.
Okay, yeah, these ones, some more design work went into them.
True,
where it's like
but
there's a strong element here, but we've made some changes. But yeah, that one, that other gal there on the left, it's like you didn't even try.
June looks absolutely wonderful.
There you go. I've very much forgotten how to draw them.
But yeah, I think it's really... I do genuinely enjoy that they did that. I think it's just really funny. I hope they do it again for Pokemon Legends CA. Even though I think in the new Pokemon Legends game that's gonna come out, I think like end of this year, I'm not sure, but like I think that one is more recent, so I don't think they can do the ancestor thing. Like timeline wise, obviously. Like,
Maybe it's set in the future, and you get descendants.
maybe. I hope they do something like that, because I just think it's the funniest thing. To be like, here's the like family of this character. That's just the character. No, that's where you're wrong. They wear different clothes. They wear different clothes, and this one is a girl. It's different. They're not the same whatsoever. Who could they possibly be an ancestor of?
Oh, wait. Whoops.
I forgot for one of them. The fucking genetic trick was that he sat down. That they both sit down. Everyone kept joking about that when the game came out.
Look, weak knees is a genetic trait.
You know, the genetic trait of sitting on a chair.
Inside you are two balls. Both of their knees hurt.
They're both sitting down because they're eepy.
Yeah. Okay, I missed this one, but I am interested. Who is suspicious? Who is suspicious Butler? I've never seen them before.
Know. I imagine he's from like the battle facility or something.
I like the design of the ancestor, but something about suspicious Butler makes me like gives me Opie vibes of like I don't want to leave my coat around you.
Yeah, definitely. That's the vibes. I don't know who he is. I assume he's from like the Battle Frontier or whatever was in that gen.
Hit you for real? That all laying on the floor. Gotta rest the knees. Yeah, I had to draw something else at the end because otherwise a large proportion of what I would have drawn would have been Wallace. So
Yeah.
gonna get a June in there.
Hang on, I'll fill up the canvas some more.
Hey!
Well, that's one way to fill up the canvas more.
Exactly. Now most of the canvas is filled.
I mean, Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system.
Yep, exactly.
I feel like June needs to be made bigger to compensate for the asshole diva.
You know, something doesn't have to be funny to be good.
Look at
What'd you think of
those
this show?
divas.
It was good.
Both of them.
Problem is that Cheeb's done like human proportions, and I haven't. So we end up with a very squat-looking June.
Yeah, we're blowing them both up like this. Really very fucking obvious the differences between our proportions.
My proportions are 20% head, 15% torso, some legs apparently somewhere.
Yeah.
That face slider.
Mine aren't bad.
Cheeb has drawn like actual people.
I mean, to be fair, June is also stitched together from body parts, so like, eh.
I mean, to also be fair, June is not the tallest. June's
True.
not very tall. About the same height as October when they're slouching. Not the shortest, that's February, but...
And Jupiter is reasonably tall. Not the tallest, but...
Who's that, Ulan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ulan is the tallest.
It would be either Ulan or Bo in my head.
Yeah, Bo is also very tall. But Bo also just has more mass. so they seem bigger.
Well, they're better to hug you with and
Exactly.
just carry you off.
Yes, that's the tactic. You go in for a hug, then they pick you up, and then you go whoop over their shoulder and they run away.
Oh no, what a shame.
And now you have been kidnapped. And you shall be treated to hot chocky. From Ulan's money.
All part of the mission.
It's all part of the mission. It's all according to the plan. Don't ask what the plan is.
Plan is mysterious,
Mm-hmm.
but they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Definitely. Just don't ask them what they're doing. It's a secret. Mm-hmm. I mean, to be fair, that would also just be like Moira's attempt at kidnapping, even though she's way shorter. She'd still do it the same way. It would be more dangerous to resist Moira. That's the only difference.
I feel like Moira, it would be less slick. It would be
Yeah.
a bumpier ride.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you might get dropped a couple times.
There's a lot more swearing involved in that process. But look, it's the enthusiasm.
Yeah, she makes up for it with enthusiasm. Please give her 5 stars. Rate her 5 stars on this kidnapping attempt. She might get a bonus.
Actually, no, I'm not typing that out. It looks bad.
What
It just
were you gonna say?
all it was like the word bonus, but bow.
Ah.
Bow's name and then Nuss. But when you have Nuss on its own,
Yeah.
it's not good.
No. Let's not.
It's not good, so I gotta ignore that. I just wanted a cute pun with Bow's name. There's so much to ask. Oh, they've got earrings. I missed that.
Right. Both Bo and MJ definitely very good at kidnapping people.
Definitely.
By just hugging them and then picking them up and running away.
Simply the boast.
Exactly.
Better than chicken roast. What?
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 Don't worry about it.
Why did you say that?
Best way to get kidnapped. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely better than what the others are doing, probably.
Look, Bo is a sweetie pie, and they're great, and I can't wait to find out all their horrible backstory.
What? No. Me giving characters horrible backstories? Doesn't
No,
sound
you'd
like
never
me.
do that. I remember when the Nyx was lovely and real cool, and then it had the real happy backstory times.
Yeah. Nick's
The best.
friends with their cousin.
Oh yeah, real close family relationships.
So close.
Very, very touching family reunion.
Yeah.
It's still lovely and cool, yes. But you know, they've been through stuff.
He's dead. He just doesn't know it.
He's got it coming.
Man walking.
Yeah. Rip Mercury.
But then who would we hate?
His corpse.
That's no fun after a while. Start serving a purpose. The worms are really happy.
I will say, Bo's backstory is not as traumatizing as Nyx's.
Well, that I'm happy.
May come as a surprise.
I mean, Nyx's game is a surprise, so I'm not expecting anything.
Yeah, I was about to say, Cheeb, there's still a lot of room to work with stuff.
True. I keep forgetting that you guys don't know what's in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, turns out, not a mind reader. I have to remind my students of this all the time.
Yeah.
It was like the other day when I think we were talking about like characters having trauma and that, and I was like, all my characters are little happy little guys who are just having a great time. Oh wait, hang on, no, M has trauma. Miss was like, what? I was like, oh yeah, I don't really talk about that, do I?
I seem to remember during a stream where we were making jokes about someone being M's dad. where you made reference where it's like, okay, clearly whoever M's actual dad is a piece of shit, so we're going to replace them with this character.
Yeah, yeah, we don't talk about M's parents.
It's like, I'm your dad now.
Who was that?
Lord if I know. I have no
I
idea.
don't remember. I just remember they had real poofy hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was when it was one of those streams of like randomly generated D&D character descriptions.
That makes sense.
It was just someone with a massive hair and beard. I should float the idea with people of like, hey, do we want to do, streams with prompts or like Gartic or something? Because for the last God knows how long, I've just been like, 5 minutes before the stream, hey, here's a magma link. Like,
Let's do Gartic next week. I've
Wanna
been wanting to do Gartic.
yeah, let's do Gartic. They've added a exquisite corpse mode. So
Cool.
we can build up one picture with only seeing a little bit of what the last person drew.
Hell yeah. Next week,
Nice.
Gartic.
Next week, Gartic. I'll put that in the Discord. But for now, it's a sleep tick. What?
Sleep tick?
Sleep tick.
Sleep tick.
Sleep. Yeah. Go to your checklist. Find the word sleep and go tick. Tick it off. Or check it off or whatever.
I mean, it's better than, sleep tick, as in, like, tick the horrid little creature.
It could be a little joltic. Just like,
Joltik is cute. Real life ticks are not cute.
No. Or Milotic as well. Sing you a song.
Yeah, that's a tick.
You think of things with tick. What or tick.
Yeah.
Your character.
I mean,
singing you a lullaby.
I don't want tick.
That sounds like a horrifying experience.
That's the last thing you see before you die.
The long sleep.
You'll be having the final sleep after that.
I'm gonna be having a birthday celebration next week. Ooh. Well, if you're not here, I hope you have a grand old time. Yeah. And don't worry about missing things. I'm sure we can do it again. Oh yeah. Thanks for coming. Stream will return hopefully Tuesday morning. And then Tuesday evening, we will be back on the trying desperately to find something to do in Dark Souls. Dark Souls 2 randomizer is not being very nice to me. Fun with the Gartics and the Funs, have fun with the Borfties.
Oh
Wait.
man, Dark Souls being mean.
Well, apparently when you
Who could've
randomize when you randomize all the items and enemies, it's not nice.
You think?
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't mind, but I've already done 2 of this randomizer in my spare time, and I thought they were mean, but they were better than this. I did do, I tried to prepare. But we'll see. Yeah. So Tuesday morning, doodly times, making more assets for Dead Island highlights. Oh, hi, Rowan. And yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Dark Souls. Saturday, Moria. Sunday, more of the Gartic. Not more of this, Gartic. More of this in the sense of fun times with friends.
Lens.
For Wayans. But yes, until then, have an utterly fantastic time. For those who are going to sleep, have a good sleep. For those who are not going to sleep, have a good sleep eventually. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know how to end things. Bye.
Bye.